Hello everyone, my name is Callmeliam, and this is my submission video of 007 Nightfire Any Percent for AGDQ 2021 online. So this run is actually going to start by us going into the default section, the default codename section, sorry, and changing a few settings. This allows us to use play without saving. Just stuff like changing control scheme, subtitles on, weapons auto switch off, stuff like that. So, we are going to select the play without saving option, and we're actually going to be starting on exchange, not Paris Prelude, as the game just lets you start on exchange anyway, so we just decided, you know, what's the point? So, anyway, we're going to start in 3, 2, 1. I have a negative 11 countdown there because it just allows me to get a better start on the timer. So, we're going straight into exchange here. Now, this game was released in 2002 alongside a bunch of other licensed James Bond games, and it's a pretty good game. This level here is actually really cool. For a speedrun, it's kind of just another level, but casually playing, this level is really cool because there's heaps of different ways you can go. But yeah, for speedrunning, it's just going to be from point A to point B. There is a little bit of RNG with some spotlights coming up, but typically they don't bother us too much. What I get more concerned about myself is the snipers. If they shoot you, they can do a lot of damage. But we are on operative difficulty, where you are a bit of a bullet sponge, so all should be good. So I did get sniped twice there, but we should still be okay. It may be a little bad later on, but we should be okay. We may just finish on, like, very low health. So even though we started a bunch of ruckus outside, we're still allowed into the party.
007. The guests won't take kindly to firearms.
So in this party, you can't use your weapons or so on, but you're free to just, you know, laser people in the face still. And, like, jump to make buzzing noises. So I have to get the way out of Rook, because he doesn't move. The TAS is funny. They just kind of shove the door in his face, and it's funny. But anyway, we're coming up in our first sort of skip in this run. So what I'm about to do is a method called clipping, which I'll explain after I do it. Okay. So what I essentially did there is I stood up and pulled out a gadget. This can be done with a gun or even the glasses. And it sort of manipulates your hitbox where you can just sort of wedge into stuff. And then when I'm wedged in, you crouch and you just go through the floor. Yeah, the other thing you probably noticed too is we are strafe running. Common in FPS games, strafe running makes you go faster. But that clipping method, we are going to be abusing that quite a lot in this game. There is one sort of block of the run that I like to call the clipping block, where it's going to be happening a lot. More about that later, though. So, a bit of RNG here. Looks like I got good RNG here. Oh, I might be cutting it close, but we should be okay. Okay, we are on blinking red health. This should be okay, though. I should be able to clutch this out here. We'll get some armor in a second here. There we go. Okay, that was a bit close, but we're all good. That doesn't happen very often. I managed to clutch that out, though. That really doesn't happen that often. So I picked up some extra rockets, too, so I can deal with any of these guys that want to come along. So we're going to be pre-firing a helicopter here. So that's good. So quite a lot happened there. I walked backwards over the top of the gondola to activate it, grabbed some rockets through the side, and grabbed some armor, and then pre-fired the helicopter. But anyway, that was the exchange. We are now moving on to enemies Vanquished. No, sorry, Alpine Escape. This level's an auto-scroller. Not a lot going on. There's only places here and there where you can save time. Despite that, though, this level being an auto-scroller, it's had quite a world record history. For the longest time, we speculated that the maximum time possible on this level was 4:02, and that got achieved by me and Ollie NK. Then one day in a run, what miraculously happened was I found an accidental skip, which basically became totally random. where you can manipulate a bunch of guys on the snowmobiles to push you in midair. And the new max speculated time is 3:56, but this trick is essentially TAS only, and even in TAS, it's really hard to pull off. So that's just how it be. So shooting those barrels makes you go faster. Nothing else to it. So yeah, these are the people that you usually manipulate. Usually manipulate to push you in midair through a tube that we're gonna go through later. Up here.
Look out, James, they're up ahead.
So there's another trick. You can shoot this guy through the cutscene,
Up ahead, James.
and looks like we should get it. Nice. Yeah, that makes Zoe speed up sooner. Saves about half a second. You do have to be careful where you actually shoot these guys too, because if they like stop moving in front of you, the snowmobile can block your path and you lose a lot of time, and it's really annoying. So there's another tiny skip coming up here. You can shoot this gate as it's opening, and it'll shoot this gate as it's opening, and you'll save a bit of time. So I look up here to avoid lag. You lag quite a lot when you look at the ground here. What else is there to say? Oh, so this next level, we are going to be attempting to go out of bounds with a car, and it can be essentially random. But usually I can get it pretty quickly. It is considered a run killer. When I go for new world record runs, I have to essentially get it first try, or it's run over. This ending, oh yeah, that tree explodes for some reason. So this ending here, I'm gonna attempt to go for, well, sorry, after this ending, I'm gonna attempt to go for that trick on enemies vanquished, but yeah, this level is over. We are gonna be moving on to enemies vanquished. So I mash A and start in the menus because it makes it go faster, but I just mash A for the cutscenes because I don't want to risk pausing. So here's the skip. Okay, so we got it first try. Nice. So now we just have to hold the gas for 27.5 seconds. So that'll be roughly about 426, 425. And then when I let go, I should be at the end of the level. So I should drop any second now. Right there. And we should land right in the trigger if I lined it up correctly. Okay, I actually clutched that out so hard there. That usually doesn't happen. I didn't hold the gas for long enough. But what I essentially did there was I had to ramp myself back up inbounds into the level and touch the trigger so I'd spawn back in the level. That was really insane. I can't believe I pulled that off. I cannot believe that. So what I essentially did though, fun fact, is actually what the IL world record does, which is not held by me. That was insane. I cannot believe I did that. But anyway, so Mayhew here, he moves faster when you're looking at him. And if you jump into this center, he moves faster. So I'm gonna look at him for a little while I reload. Go for headshots on these guys.
anywhere to
Oh,
check the hole.
one tap
To
machine.
the right.
So all those guys died. I did not pick up a stun grenade, but we should be okay. I'm just gonna shaver here. And if anybody doesn't get stunned, I'll just shoot them.
This way.
And it looks like we're all good. So that was actually really fast, which is good.
We're close to the bunker now.
So, we're now moving into the second section here. We have to save a bunch of hostages. And they can be annoying, but let's just see how we go. Whoops, I fat-fingered. So right off the bat here, we jump on that ladder. And we come across here. So we have to headshot that guy. A bit tricky with the GameCube controller. And this jump I'm about to do, you're not supposed to be able to make. And we shoot Mayu's computer, as he asked us to. And we shoot that last guy, and that lets us move into the next section, because we saved that hostage. Sorry about that truck outside, if you can hear that. Sorry.
007.
So, we have to pick up this key from the dragon safe here, and this is going to be a risky hostage here. Okay, so she didn't die, that's good. Usually she doesn't, which is good. So we shoot the sniper, there's our last hostage. And we pick up the sniper because this ninja we're going to be fighting at the end here. We're going to essentially quickscope him, well, kind of. We're going to just use the sniper and just boom, headshot, and he should die instantly. So you wait for him to flip, and then bang, and he dies. So we're now moving into my favorite level, Night Shift. And also the clipping block of the run, where essentially we're going to be doing a lot of clips. So right off the bat,
Bond, M here.
I'm going to punch a guard right in the face because it sounds funny.
Q-Branch has supplied you with tranquilizer darts. Please use them.
Oh, didn't get the face punch, but still, this one I don't need to because he runs to push the alarm, but it doesn't matter because I'm fast. So essentially, that clip there is called reverse clip. That clip I sort of clipped into the ground, and then instead of standing up and pulling out a gun or a gadget, I crouch and pull out a gun or a gadget, and you sort of just slip under. You normally have to go all the way around and activate the elevators and stuff, but we don't do that there.
Don't forget that your glasses can detect hidden laser tripwires.
So you can normally duck under that laser, but I'm just fast,
Be careful not to cross its range-finding.
so it doesn't matter. Put the Q-worm in. There is another strat you can go for here in the cafe called Cafe Clip, and it saves 2 seconds, but it's only worth it if you're going for world record. Instead I do the vent clip there. And this here is called the keypad clip, which was actually found by me. And the way that one works is really silly. For some reason, if you run against the keypad and repeatedly spam push A and B to bring up and lower the keypad, when you lower the keypad, Bond's collision just doesn't exist for a couple frames, and if you just keep mashing, you can essentially walk through walls. It's pretty funny. So there's a frame perfect clip I'm gonna go for here. There is another method of doing this, but I just find it never works for me, so I go for the frame perfect, and I didn't get it. It only saves about 2 seconds though, so it's not a big deal.
That stairwell, Bond.
I do have to get it in world record runs though. So instead we did the vent clip. So we don't keypad clip on this door because though you can keypad clip in, we don't know a way out that's faster. That's how long a keypad takes normally.
Upload the Q-worm into it.
Oh, that elevator sound, that was that wooden door closing, by the way. That's a sound bug.
What happened up there, James? The street out front is swarming with security agents.
So, we're gonna just drop the shaver. And we're gonna clip out of this helicopter.
Now, Bond. Jump.
Nice. So we're moving on to another tough level, Chain Reaction. This level is notoriously hard if you're a beginner, but, well, I'm not, so playing this level isn't too difficult for me, but there are still some tricky clips here and there, so let's see how we go.
007, your camera
So right off the
should
bat,
help
we
you
got to
here.
take a photo
Snipers in
of the jetpack, check that we did take it, nice. First clip here. Gonna look at the ground. Sometimes helps with snipers not hitting you. Oh, and we got that clip first try, which is nice. And you're not supposed to be able to make that jump. But that, that's a pretty tricky, level. But we're coming up on an even trickier part of the level, which, we have to essentially walk along a seam after doing a tricky clip. So I normally get the armor, but I don't think I should need it. So I had to... So essentially what I had to do there was clip and then land on a certain part and then make a tricky jump. Also leap of faith there. Which I've got pretty consistent. And then make a tricky jump to the seam, which then you have to walk along, which is pretty tricky because you can come back in bounds, but this chain reaction is actually pretty good. So that laser is actually interesting on PAL compared to NTSC. I don't need to let go of the laser, but on NTSC I do for a second, but I am on PAL, so... I want to check the time on that. 1:10, sorry, that was a bit of a thing there. I wanted to check the time so I could, see it, because the world record is actually 1:07 for that level, but, we know 1:06 is possible. So this level here, Phoenix Fire, one of the hardest levels, but actually the shortest level in the game, because there's actually more time of loads in this level than there is in actually playing. And the world record for this level is 32 seconds, I believe. So this clip I'm about to do coming up here is pretty tricky, so I gotta focus. Okay, so that one's pretty hard. What I had to do there was place the briefcase down, get on top of it, clip, and then be careful not to come inbounds, and then crouch and push A. But you can't go too far, and you can't go too, like, less. So this clip's frame perfect. There we go, nice. Okay, took me a second to get it, but yeah, that is a frame perfect clip and it is necessary, otherwise you lose a lot of time in the run. You also have to mash A there or your console will freeze. So, we have one final clip to end this level. Which is this one, and boom. So, that's pretty much the end of the clipping block, though there are more clips later in the level, but we are now going into Deep Descent, which I dropped a pretty hard April Fool's joke about Deep Descent this year. But unrelated to that, well, yeah, this level is kind of like the Resident Sleeper, because we don't know a way to skip it, and it's just very chill. And this is often considered like a break for some low-level runners, but at my level, which is world record level, this level is pretty scary. Lots of things can go wrong if you're unlucky. But the hardest part of the level is actually right at the beginning, which is making this shot that I'm about to right here. Nice, we got it. Yeah, because we have to do that really fast.
Better keep your distance, James.
So yeah, you're supposed to use remote torpedoes there, but, well, we don't have to. Avoiding these mines can be a little tricky, but we got through pretty cleanly. These are way worse on 00 Agent, by the way. Way, way, way worse. So, there is another, like, TAS-only strat. I have been able to pull it off before, but it only saves, like, a second. But you can shoot this one with the regular torpedoes, but it's really difficult, so hence the name TASpedo, we call it. Yeah, so here we've just got to plant all these Q charges. Depending on what I'm trying to get out of this level, if I want to get a platinum medal, I have to go the other way to shoot that sub, which is a bit interesting. But anyway, we can technically play this level here without killing any subs except the last one, which is interesting. On operative, if you're going for a platinum in all plats, you need to shoot every sub in this level, though. So yeah, we have to follow this sub now. Not really much to say. That we're going to be taking cutting every corner and taking every shortcut we can. I should have also mentioned we drive in first person. I should have mentioned this back on EV, but we drive in first person because it reduces a lot of lag and it's just a lot easier to control. Because if you drive, I'll show it in a second. If you drive like this, the car's just in the way and it's really annoying. So you can notice how close I've gotten to the sub here, because obviously I know the route. We are going to be going in front of the sub any second now, though. Because we're going to take this massive shortcut. However, we do need to slow down a little as this sub opens this door. Need to slow down or I'll bonk on the door. I also hug the left here because the sub will bonk me if I do not. So I fire one torpedo, get these subs out of the way, and then another torpedo shot here. Nice. Now, a lot of people who have played this game, this level is often the worst for them because there's actually no checkpoints in this level, so if I was to die here, go all the way back to the start, and it's the worst level to mess up in a run too. And it's mainly because of this sub, and this is actually the best way to kill the sub. And if you're on 00 Agent, you'd pop 2 more torpedoes there. But that's the best way to do it. So anyway, now we're moving into Island Infiltration. This is not exactly well, later in the level it's an auto-scroller, but for the first part, it's actually some pretty cool driving sequences. So we've got to get the compound, the password from this compound.
That compound should contain a transmission.
Intruder on the base! Man your station!
So I like to pick up the extra rockets and then do a massive power slide. 2 rockets. And then I like to use the machine gun to kill these cars up ahead and avoid bad car NG. Yeah, I know, it's a bad pun, but whatever. Yeah, because when these guys explode, they can get in the way. So... Oh, not the best. Not the best. Come on. Okay, that was pretty bad. The second one usually behaves, but, yeah, I managed to pull a drift there and pull myself back into motion, which is good. The worst thing that can happen is the car can, like, flip you upside down, which is pretty bad when that happens, but thankfully it didn't. Okay. So I'm gonna creep up a little bit here, kinda. Just to shoot 2 rockets, and then I'm gonna go full on. The death scream's always the funniest. So we're gonna use the code for one more bridge here.
Transmitting access code. Code accepted.
You can usually YOLO that bridge, but I played it a little safe there. So 2 rockets each side. Now we've got to destroy this turret. So this is one of the 3-4 levels that we wish we had a skip for. Mainly because of this section coming up here.
Good work so far, 007.
So we shoot this bridge, and now it's a total auto-scroller. There's only like 2 or 3 things you can do to really speed it up. If I'm running this game in a marathon or anything, this is usually donations time after I explain this next thing here. So you'll kill this turret, but we found that it's actually faster to wait for to lock onto this, and also to not blow up that bridge over there. So yeah, this level here, we wish we had a skip for it, but we don't. Same with Deep Descent, Alpine Escape, and the final level of the game. Yeah, this is usually where we just mess around.
On the right.
So yeah, here you can shoot the center of the bridge and it blows them both up. But besides that, I mean, there's not really much else to say. This is when I'll take a drink of water. Oops.
Up ahead, James.
Yeah, I can quite literally play this level with one hand. So yeah, another thing to note about this level is if I didn't enter this section with armor, I would have died. And if you die here, you'll go all the way back to the start of this auto-scroller, which is really bad. I think in my first run of this game ever, I did die. So you gotta blow up these boats. Nothing else to really say. I mean, nothing else to say about this level. The ending sequence, there is a funny thing you can go for, which I will go for. So we do like 2 cycles around the bay, but you know, it's not really... I need to stop saying that. Not really much else to say. So this will be the last of the planes in a moment. So yeah, that's the last of the planes. Now we head over this way, towards the tower. There is something funny you can do here. The smoke just appears before the tower explodes. You can hurt yourself a little here, but it's only just for fun. So there is like 2 funny things you can go for here after you get this turret. So the first one is, if I shoot the rockets in the right place. I didn't get it, but it looks, it's really stupid, but the rocket explosion appears in the cutscene. I don't know, it's just stupid. So this is an auto-scroller here.
Find a way to disable this
But there is some... So it's actually the tanks that speed up this auto-scroller. I'm just out here playing Titanfall in the meantime. There's a funny strat I'm gonna go for here, where I can actually pop the tires on this tank. Oh, I got it. Nice. Yeah, it's really funny. It actually does save a little bit of time too, because the game doesn't... the tank isn't actually dead. But I think the game thinks it is, so the third tank doesn't actually spawn, which speeds up quite a bit. It saves up a little bit of time. Normally the third tank spawns there, but he didn't. I thought he did for a second. I heard the sound cue. So we just shoot the sub. And now we can wake up. We're playing the game again. We're going into Countdown, which is often considered the true final level of the game. But, yeah, we're going into Countdown now. There's going to be a few things happening on this level. So, we'll just see how it goes. It is a pretty intense level, too. So right off the bat, I'm gonna get out my remote mines. I'm gonna use these to plant them to get a quick kill on this level's boss, Rook. So as you've probably noticed by now, the bosses in this game have a lifespan of like less than a second.
Kiko is in corridor A12 now.
Target acquired.
Kiko is in corridor A16. James, it looks
So we're gonna be going for another skip here, called Slow Door Skip.
James, see if you can find
So this door, when everything starts exploding, takes a while to open, but we can skip it if we hit a very precise clip. So we activate that, and... Nice, we got it. So, when the time says you'll need to get through... When Allura says this line, in a second, when she says that line, that's how long we would have had to wait. So, now comes the Rook kill. So nice. So that is the hardest part of it all, and that went pretty well. So now we've got the second section, which does have a tricky clip, but we should be able to get it. So right off the bat, grenade shot here, manipulate the spawn. That's a really easy shot to hit too, by the way. So this is the tricky clip, and we got it. Nice. Nice. So we've got one final skip coming up called Kiko Skip. And Kiko Skip is essentially... Normally you have to fight Kiko in this big section where the shuttles are launching and all this, but we can clip into a wall and walk around the trigger that stops you from pushing the end level button.
My loyal associates,
and it can be a little tricky. I'm gonna throw some grenades here. We can push this switch through the wall. So here comes the clip. There it is, and that should be good, and that is Countdown. So, we may or may not have a 36 here, if not a low 37, which is a really good time. So, as I said before, this level here, complete auto-scroller, or scripted sequence, I should say. The only thing we can really do to speed it up is kill Drake sooner and shoot these two guys at the start real quick.
Persistence, Mr. Bond. Persistence and
So we can draw on Drake's face for fun. So you can do a bit of funny things in this level. I'll show you in a second. I may have lost a bit of time there, but I don't think I did. So yeah, you can punch this, punch the solar panels, just destroy the space station. You gotta be careful not to get hit by that laser. So yeah, if someone's ever trying to blow up the world with nuclear missiles, like Drake is, just punch the missile, and you can disarm it. If you don't mind dying of radiation poisoning. So it is important to keep these guys under control. But thankfully the HUD in the top right is very useful. So yeah, this is the Samurai, as you probably already know, or may not know. It's pretty OP, and it was in multiplayer as well. Especially with the overcharge we're going to be using at the end to completely destroy Drake. So these are the last two of the baddies. So, last of the missiles here. So yeah, strafing in space, you can kind of do it, because when you hold the jump button, you sort of go upwards. Also, shooting these missiles like faster doesn't save any time. So here's where we're going to destroy Drake. So as soon as Allura says laser, I'm gonna fire the overcharge on the Samurai, which is like a big charge up and so aim right at Drake, and as soon as Allura says laser, we're gonna fire this. Nice, and this should work. Nice, and Drake is destroyed, so we'll get ready on time. Oh, I didn't skip that soon, but get ready on time, and boom, time. Oh, it didn't stop, but it was 37. Oh, it's not stopping. It was 37:26. There we go. Oh, it's not stopping. That's weird. Anyway. 37:26. Oh, there we go. Pause works. 37:26. Not a bad time at all. Yeah, we get to watch this ending now. Yeah, I mean, I think that was a pretty good run. Thank you all for watching. We'll watch this cutscene out.
Stood, not shaken. Definitely. Stirred.
Astronomers from around the globe are reporting unexpected meteor showers. Well done, 007.
Then I'm sure the world won't mind my taking a few days off. We'll let the autopilot be our designated driver.
Oh, James.
And that's Nightfire. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you consider me for your marathon GDQ.